Did you ever hear that story about Voodoo Queen Julia Brown? So the story goes that there's this black woman who sits on the porch and she lives in Frienier, Louisiana. You never heard of it? It's 28 miles outside of New Orleans. Anyhow, it no longer exists, but we're moving on. Now, all the townsfolk, they call her Aunt Julia. It's a heavily German community. She's like the only black woman in town. She's also like a traditional healer, think midwife, think herbalist, and the only thing they have, like the closest thing they have to a doctor. Now, the town folks, they end up calling her Julia the White or Julia the Brown, and it really depends on how they view her. Now, as she's known for sitting on her front porch, she'd play guitar and she'd sing songs, and you'd hear them as you'd go by. And then one day she starts singing, "When I die, I'm gonna take the whole town with me. When I die, I'm gonna take the whole town with me." So it's late September 1915, and that's when folks start realizing they haven't seen Aunt Julia in a while. So they go check on her, and that's when they realize that she's unalived. So they're a little worried about her prediction, so they end up organizing this massive funeral. September 29th, 1915, the town and everybody outside of the town, they've all gathered. And that's when a Category 4 hurricane comes through and just wipes the town off the map. We're talking 124-mile-an-hour winds. Oh, and the waters around town rose 13 feet. The train station sheltered 25 people, and none of them made it out. October 1st, people come in and start clearing out that storm. And several towns around it had been just... When they estimated damages back in 1915, they realized it was 13 million. That's nearly 400 million in today's money. Now, good news, bad news. We've got some myth and we've got some truth in that. Julia Brown and her husband were both literate. They were granted 40 acres and the mule, and they moved to this small German-speaking town. Now, her song is true. Girl did say that. And a storm did come shortly after and wipe the towns off the map. But we have residents who remember Julia Brown, and they think that she was actually pretty nice. Basically, this whole story ends up just being a lot of sensationalized material around a black woman. But the fact that she sang that song and it did come to pass, that is just creepy as all get out. What's a crazy history story that you think I should cover?